What? Back at y'all this morning with some content. Let's get it. Donald Trump. Yeah, man. I think y'all know what it is. Tap on in. Show some of that love. Already. As they love to say, already. What's up with the family? Damn. This one right here, man, gonna ruffle some feathers. People gonna be in their feelings. But then again, what else is new? So we on a roll first thing this morning. Julian said, we here. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. FBA. Let's get on them. It's time to get on these people's helmet, man. Their helmito. That bumper. Oh, man. It is time to get up in here. Let's do it. Shorty McGriff said, you talking about my city today? What's your city, Shorty? What city you from, man? You from Minnesota? Baby, you from Minnesota. You out there with them Somalians, huh? You heard of, hey, have you heard of the, what about, hey, man, what's up with them Somalian Crips? You know what I'm saying? The Somalian Crips. What's up, man? Them Somalians out there cripping, huh? Yeah, I know. When you say Mexicans, we're pretty much speaking for Central and South America. You know, it's pretty much the same thing. Like if I say, if if somebody says something about Nigerians, they're talking about Cameroonians and the rest of the West Africans, right? It's the same thing. You know, they're divided by countries, they're divided by tribes, but at the end of the day, they're all Africans. You know, they're all Africans. Just like when you think about Mexicans, El Salvadorians, Guatemalans, there's really no difference. I mean, they might have slight differences, but for the most part, they all speak Spanish. They all come from Central and South America. You know, big deal. If you seen a Mexican and in the South, if you seen a Mexican or a Guatemalan and an El Salvadorian, you really wouldn't know the difference. You wouldn't know the difference. You know, just like if you seen a Nigerian and a Cameroonian, you wouldn't know the difference. What you're gonna say is an African. So when people look at El Salvadorians, the first thing you think of, well, that's a Mexican. Like, do you guys know the difference between a Chinese and a Japanese? Some people do. Some people might know the difference, but for the most part, no, you're going to say an Asian. You're going to say an Asian. Tomato, tomato. Exactly. You get my point. Yeah. But yeah, though, man, we in the building with this one. Shout out to everybody, man, that's rocking, that's been tapping in with the show. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Let's get it. Now, when Donald Trump said they're bringing in drugs, they're bringing in crime, they have SA offenders, he wasn't lying. People don't want to hear the truth, but that's the reality, though. Trump wasn't lying when he was talking about the crime that goes on in Mexico and the criminals that come over here from Mexico. He wasn't making that up. Listen, that's an accurate and true statement, 100%. Japan is an island. Ha ha ha, Shorty McGriff. Yeah, man. I wouldn't care if she's Chinese or Guapanese. How many of y'all people are up this morning for the content? Let's get it. Tammy, what up, baby? We got Tammy in the building. Blessings to you. Now, the Somalians, let's get into the Somalians first, and then we're going to get into the Mexicans. Somalians said that they're Somalian, they're not black, right? And now that Donald Trump has the pressure, now that Donald Trump put pressure on them, now they're saying, oh, well, we are black. This one Somalian chick said, the African FBA should have our back. Why do you think that? Why would FBA have your back? Now, have Somalians ever stood with, let me ask you guys something. Have Somalians ever, have they ever stood by us? Can you name a time in history to where Somalians have stood up with black people? You know, because I can't think of a time where Somalians have ever stood up with black people. I don't remember that. So I've seen videos of Somalians saying black Americans should be riding with them, taking their side. She said, black Americans are coming for us. They should be supporting us. That's what this Somalian woman said. But I can't remember a time where Somalians have ever stood side by side with FBA. I just can't think of that time. I don't know. I don't know if it's ever happened. They're not FBA. They need to stop it. We know. Let's see what Donald Trump had to say.
People from all over the world being dumped into our country, the people that aren't wanted in their countries, by the way. I think right? Where we have people from all over the world being dumped into our country, the people that aren't wanted in their countries, by the way. I think that's a great, like Somalia. Welcome. Do we have any individuals from Somalia in the group? Please raise your hand. That's for Minnesota, you know. That's called the Great Big Minnesota Scam with one of the dumbest governors ever in history. I love this Ilan Omar, whatever the hell her name is, with the little turban. I love her. She comes in, does nothing but bitch. She's always complaining. She comes from a country where, I mean, it's considered about the worst country in the world, right? They have no military, they have no nothing, they have no parliament. They don't know what the hell the word parliament means. They have nothing, they have no police. They police themselves. They kill each other all the time. I love it. She comes to our country, and she's always complaining about the Constitution allows me to do this. We ought to get her the hell out. She married her brother in order to get in, right? She married her brother.
He said she married her brother to get in this country. Whoa.
Can you imagine if Donald Trump married his sister? Beautiful. She's a beautiful person. If I married my sister to get my citizenship, do you think I'd last for about 2 hours, or would it be something less than that? She married her brother to get in. Therefore, she's here illegally. She should get the hell out. Throw her the hell out. She does nothing but complain.
White folks like, send her back. Send her back. Look at all the MAGA people out there. The MAGA people like, send her back. Send her back. We're gonna go right here. He said, man, they don't even know what parliament means. You don't even know what parliament means. Oh man, this is crazy, man. He said Somalia is the worst country in the world.
Whatever the hell her name is, with the little. I love this Ilan Omar, whatever the hell her name is, with the little turban. I love her. She comes in, does nothing but bitch. She's always complaining. She comes from a country where, I mean, it's considered about the worst country in the world, right? They have no military, they have no nothing, they have no parliament. They don't know what the hell the word parliament means. They have nothing. They have no police. They police themselves. They kill each other all the time. I love it. She comes to our country, and she's always complaining about the Constitution allows me to do this. We ought to get her the hell out. She married her brother in order to get in, right? She married her brother. Can you imagine?
Somalia is the worst country on planet Earth, and you don't even know what parliament means. You know, you listen, like when Angry Man was disrespecting foundational Black Americans, he said, we don't know what embellishment means or embellishing. You don't even know what embellishment means. Oh, that's funny.
She comes from a country where, I mean, it's considered about the worst country in the world, right? They have no military, they have no nothing, they have no parliament. They don't know what the hell the word parliament means. They have nothing. They have no police. They police themselves. They kill each other all the time. I love it. She comes to our country, and she's always complaining about the Constitution allows me to do this. We ought to get her the hell out. She married her brother in order to get in, right? She married her brother. Can you imagine if Donald Trump married his sister? Beautiful. She's a beautiful person. If I married my sister to get my citizenship, do you think I'd last for about 2 hours, or would it be something less than that? She married her brother to get in. Therefore, she's here illegally. She should get the hell out. Throw her the hell out. She does nothing but complain. So now, and we have our savior.
Hello, family.
I didn't try to go to that one, but yeah. Send her back. Send her back. I want to hear that again.
Prisons are emptied.
Send her back.
So now, and we have our savior.
Donald said, nah, man, send her back.
No, I think that Waltz is a grossly incompetent man. There's something wrong with him, okay? There's something wrong with him. And when you look at what he's done with Somalia, which is barely...
Now, should we get rid of Ilhan Omar and send her back to Somalia? I want to know how many people agree with that. Should we get rid of Ilhan Omar and send her back to Somalia? Is that a great idea or what? Anyway, let's get back to the content.
He's a grossly incompetent man. There's something wrong with him, okay? There's something wrong with him. And when you look at what he's done with Somalia, which is barely a country, you know, they have no anything. They just run around killing each other. There's no structure. And when I see somebody like Ilhan Omar, who I don't know at all, but I always watch her for years. I've watched her complain about our Constitution, how she's being treated badly. Our Constitution, the United States of America, is a bad place. Hates everybody, hates Jewish people, hates everybody. And I think she's an incompetent person. She's a real terrible person. But when I watch what is happening in Minnesota, the land of 1,000 lakes, or however many lakes they have, they got a lot of lakes, but this beautiful place, and I see these people ripping it off, and now I'm understanding, and you're going to look at, I hear they ripped off Somalians, ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions, every year, billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%, contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you, okay? Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. Their country's no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I can say that about other countries too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country. You know, our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain. They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. You know, they came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it.
Let them fix it. Let them fix it. I mean, everybody brings their problems to America. I mean, he's right about that.
I think that Waltz is grossly.
Everybody brings their problems over here. So that's the truth of the matter right there. Everybody. You know, bring your problems to America.
Our country is in serious trouble. We beat Mexico at border. They're laughing at us, at our stupidity. When do we beat Mexico at the border? They're laughing at us, at our stupidity. The U.S. has become a dumping ground for everybody else's problems. When Mexico sends its people, they're not sending their best. They're not sending you. They're not sending you. They're sending people with lots of problems, and they're bringing those problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're bringing crime, they're rapists, and some, I assume, are good people. But I speak to border guards, and they tell us what we're getting. And it only makes common sense. It only makes common sense. They're sending us the right people. It's coming from more than Mexico. It's coming from all over South and Latin America, and it's coming probably common sense. They're sending us not the problems with us. They're bringing drugs, they're rapists, and some people. But I speak to border guards, and they tell us what we're getting. And it only makes common sense. It only makes common sense. They're sending us it's coming from more than Mexico. It's coming from all over South and Latin America, and it's coming probably from the Middle East. But we don't, because we have no protection, and we have no competence. We don't know what's happening. And it's
Now, can you tell me where was the lie told? Where was the lie told? There was no lies being told. We all know the drugs and crime that come from Mexico, if we're being honest.
We turn to other breaking developments, this time in the race for president tonight. Donald Trump himself on the phone today with his top supporters, urging them to defend him after his comments about that Judge Bona, a judge with Mexican heritage. Trump doubling down on what
if a judge has Mexican heritage, they're going to do everything in their power to defend Mexican people. And they made this stupid argument about, oh, he was born in Indiana. Nobody cares about that. His loyalty is to Mexico. His loyalty is to his parents' country. You remember when I told you guys, Mexicans, their loyalty is to their parents' country? This is why you never let anchor babies become judges or politicians, because anchor babies will defend open borders and illegal immigration 100%. They'll pretend like they don't, but in reality, they do. Anchor babies advocate for open borders. I told you this a long time ago.
Top supporters urging them to defend him. That judge born in Indiana, a judge with Mexican heritage. Trump doubling down on what he said and what he's now saying if he faced a Muslim judge. ABC's Tom Yamas on the campaign trail tonight.
Tonight, Donald Trump urging top supporters to defend his attacks on the Mexican-American judge in the Trump University case.
Do you regret making it personal with the judge?
Look, I've had very, very unfair decisions. People said this should have gone away a long time ago in summary judgment. I don't care if the judge is Mexican or not. I'm going to do great with the Mexican people because they provide jobs. So I don't care about Mexican. But we're being treated very unfairly, Bill. Very, very unfairly.
Trump claims Judge Gonzalo Curiel, an American citizen born in Indiana, is biased against him because the judge's parents are from Mexico.
If you are saying he can't do his job because of his race, is that not the definition of racism?
No, I don't think so at all. This judge is giving us unfair rulings. Now I say why. Well, I'm building a wall, okay? And it's a wall between Mexico, not another country.
But he's not from Mexico.
In my opinion,
he's from Indiana.
He's Mexican heritage. Out of it.
Trump.
You see how dumb these reporters are? He's from Indiana. His parents are Mexican, so his loyalty is to Mexico. I hate when these people play dumb. Either you're dumb or you're just plain dumb. When it comes to anchor babies, their loyalty is to their parents' country. They advocate for open borders.
Then taking it even
in Mexico, not another country, giving us unfair rulings. Now I say why. Well, I'm building a wall, okay? And it's a wall between Mexico, not another country.
But he's not from Mexico.
In my opinion,
he's from Indiana.
He's Mexican heritage, and he's very proud of it.
Trump then taking it even further, implying his proposed Muslim ban would also disqualify a Muslim judge from the Trump University case.
If we're a Muslim judge, would you also feel like they wouldn't be able to treat you fairly because of that policy of yours?
It's possible, yes. Yeah, that would be possible, absolutely.
Now, even Trump's biggest supporters say he's out of line.
This is one of the worst mistakes Trump has made, and I think it's inexcusable. And he's got to move his game up to the level of being a potential leader.
On Fox, Trump sounding disappointed.
As far as Newt is concerned, I saw Newt. I was surprised at Newt. I thought it was inappropriate what he said.
But today, Gingrich, once top prospect to be Trump's running mate, upped the outrage.
It goes against our whole model of being an American. Once you go down that road, you destroy America.
Today, Trump convening a tense conference call of top supporters to address the campaign crisis. Bloomberg News reporting the candidate urged them to attack Judge Curiel, insisting, quote, "We will overcome." Trump also reportedly asking them to hit reporters, saying, quote, "The people asking the questions, those are the racists. I would go at them."
And Tom Yamas with us live tonight. Tom reported there Donald asking his top supporters to defend him. But what about top Republican leaders? You touched on this. They've already endorsed him. Now being asked about his comments on that judge, Paul Ryan, Newt Gingrich among them.
David, what Newt Gingrich said tonight was stunning. He's one of Trump's strongest supporters. And for weeks, top Republicans have been able to defend Trump's controversial policies or statements by saying he's a different type of candidate. But tonight, many are saying what he did is wrong and out of line.
I don't care about these liberals and Democrats. They're just dumb. Well, he's from Indiana. His parents are Mexican, which means his loyalty is to their country. This is what happens when you allow anchor babies. This is what happens when you let anchor babies become judges. This is what happens when you let anchor babies become politicians. They advocate for open borders. They're fighting to legalize border hopping. This is why, I repeat, I said it 4 times already, but I'm going to say it again. This is why you never let anchor babies become politicians. Their loyalty is not to America. Their loyalty will always be to their parents' country. I've been saying this for years. Anyway, man, let's switch gears. Let's get on over here to
I want to ask you about comments you made about the judge in the Trump University
Watch this right here.
case. You said that you thought it was a conflict of interest that he was the judge because he's of Mexican heritage, even though he's from Indiana.
Yeah.
Hillary Clinton said.
I'm going to do this real quick. Hold on. It's a conflict of interest because his parents are from Mexico. I'm going to play the audio because you know how CNN can get when you use their clips, and we monetize. So I ain't going to play no games with them. Check this out.
In the Trump University case, you said that you thought it was a conflict of interest that he was the judge because he's of Mexican heritage, even though he's from Indiana. Hillary Clinton said that.
Hold on 1 second. I'm going to play the audio because I ain't going to play these games with CNN. Yes, it's a conflict of interest to have this guy as a judge because his parents are Mexicans. He's an anchor baby. So his loyalty will always be to Mexico. So it is a conflict of interest having somebody like that as a judge.
I want to ask you about comments you made about the judge in the Trump University case. You said that you thought it was a conflict of interest that he was the judge because he's of Mexican heritage, even though he's from Indiana. Hillary Clinton said that is a racist attack on a federal judge.
Oh, you know, she's so wonderful. You know, I mean, here's a woman that should be put in jail for what she did with her emails, and she's commenting on
But
this.
what about
Let
the
me just tell you.
substance of the?
Let me just tell you. It's very simple. I have a case where thousands of people have taken this course, and thousands of people have said great reviews, great reviews. Fortunately, just about everybody that took the courses have signed a review, an evaluation, they call it. And it's gotten tremendous marks. Thousands. I don't mean like 2 people. I mean thousands of people. Okay. I have a situation where the woman that brought the case. She was the plaintiff. She was deposed. She was found to be a disaster for them as a witness because she gave an evaluation that won't dismiss the case, and she doesn't have to be the plaintiff. Let me tell you. I'll tell you what it has to do. I have had ruling after ruling after ruling that's been bad rulings, okay? I've been treated very unfairly. Before him, we had another judge. If that judge was still there, this case would have been over 2 years ago. Let me just tell you, I have had horrible rulings. I've been treated very unfairly by this judge. Now, this judge is of Mexican heritage. I'm building a wall, okay? I'm building a wall. I am going to do very well with the Hispanics, the Mexicans.
So
everybody.
no Mexican judge could ever be involved in a case that involves you?
He's a member of a society where, very pro-Mexico, and that's fine. It's all fine. But
Except that you're calling into question
he
his
should
heritage.
recuse himself.
Because
He's pro-Mexico. That's a problem. See, I hate it when these Democrats and liberals play stupid. You know his loyalty is to Mexico. You know he's going to advocate for open borders. You know he's fighting the legalized border hopping. But then they'll sit up there and pretend, they'll sit up there and play dumb as if they don't know. When it's clear as day, when it's clear as looking out of the window. We know how these people get down. We already know how they operate. Isn't that racist to say to man? Shut up. Racist. No, I'm not racist. I'm a realist. If you put an anchor baby in position, once an anchor baby becomes a politician, then you already know their loyalty is to that country. They fight for things that are anti-American. This is common sense by now.
If that judge was still there, this case would have been over 2 years ago. Let me just tell you, I have had horrible rulings. I've been treated very unfairly by this judge. Now, this judge is of Mexican heritage. I'm building a wall, okay? I'm building a wall. I am going to do very well with the Hispanics, the Mexicans.
So
everybody.
no Mexican judge could ever be involved in a case that involves you?
He's a member of a society where, very pro-Mexico, and that's fine. It's all fine. But
Except that you're calling into question
he
his
should
heritage.
recuse himself.
Because he's
Then you
Latino.
also say, does he know the lawyer on the other side? I mean, does he know the lawyer? A lot of people say
But I'm
yes.
not
I don't
talking
know.
about that. I'm talking about
that's another problem.
But you're invoking his race when talking about
Here's what
whether
I'm
or not
saying.
he can do his job.
Jake, I'm building a wall. Okay, I'm building a wall. I'm trying to keep business out of Mexico. Mexico's fine. There's nothing.
But he's American. He's an American.
He's of Mexican heritage, and he's very proud of it, as I am where I come from.
But he's
my
an
parents.
American. You keep talking about
Jake.
It's a conflict of interest because of Mexico.
Are you ready? I have a case that should have been dismissed already. I have thousands of people saying Trump University is fantastic, okay? I have a case that should have been dismissed. I have a judge that never, ever gives up. Now we lose the plaintiff. He lets the plaintiff of the case out. So why isn't he canceling the case? So we thought we won the case.
So you disagree with his rulings.
No,
I totally understand that.
Not
But
me. I've had lawyers come up to me say, you are being treated so unfairly. It's unbelievable.
Is it?
Do you know the plaintiffs in the case have all said wonderful things about the school, and they're suing? You know why they're suing? Because they want to get their money back.
I don't really want to litigate the case
You have to.
of Trump University.
Because if he was giving me fair rulings, I wouldn't say that.
My
But,
question is,
Jake, if
yeah.
you were giving me fair rulings, I wouldn't be talking to you this way.
So there you go. There you go, you guys. Now, he's from America. His parents are from Mexico. Stop playing dumb. Quit playing dumb. Hit the like button, man, and let's get to some of these ICE raids. He is not an American. Technically, he's not. He's an anchor baby. So his loyalty is to Mexico.
Down the road! Chaos on a Tucson street as federal immigration agents clashed with protesters following a series of federal.
Now, these are ICE raids right here. We're going to get into some of these ICE raids, and then we're going to get to Minnesota, and then we're going to break down what's going on with the Somalians. Make sure that you guys bless that like button.
Raids at a Tucson restaurant chain. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Dan Maries.
And I'm Mary Coleman. Homeland Security, the IRS, and other federal agencies executed 16 search warrants across southern Arizona today.
They say dozens of people are in custody as part of a years-long investigation into immigration and tax violations. 13 News has confirmed raids on at least 5 Taco Hero restaurants, 4 of them in the Tucson area, 1 in Sierra Vista. There was also a raid in Casa Grande that's part of this investigation.
13 News was at a Taco Hero on Tucson's west side at Sonora Grande capturing this video. Protesters blocked the streets, preventing federal agents from leaving. Arizona's newest Congresswoman, Adelita Grijalva, says she was on her way to lunch when she came across this.
This is like the restaurant I come to literally once a week, and was sprayed in the face by a very aggressive agent, pushed around by others. When I literally was not being aggressive, I was asking for clarification, which is my right as a member of Congress.
If I went to the House of Representatives in Washington, D.C. and went on the floor, I'd be arrested. I would be taken off there because that's off limits. But if you're getting pepper spray, you got to ask yourself, what's going on? Why were you there?
A Homeland Security official says she was not sprayed, but in the vicinity of someone being sprayed. You can see that in this video here. They also say 2 agents were hurt in this incident. Another video shows an agent shoot chemicals near Grijalva's feet. However, it's worth noting here she appears to be at the front of a crowd confronting agents.
In Sierra Vista, south of Tucson, local police and Cochise County Sheriff's deputies did assist with those raids today, but Tucson police did not. They only showed up for crowd control after federal agents called for emergency backup.
We have been preparing for this a long time. Our police officers.
Here you go again. The mayor, Regina Romero, she's an advocate. She's advocating for open borders. Come on, man. I've been saying this. This is common sense. When anchor babies become politicians, their loyalty will always be to their parents' country, not to America. This is a prime example. Another example, the Mexican guy in Indiana advocating for open borders. She's the mayor of Arizona. She's doing the same thing. Her parents are from Mexico. So, of course, she wants open borders. Of course, she wants to legalize border hopping.
Call for emergency backup.
We have been preparing for this a long time. Our police officers acted as they should have today, stayed completely away, and protected our residents from what was happening.
Now, Tucson police tells us they're
protecting the residents. So basically what she's saying is the Mexicans should be able to protest and do whatever they want to do. You know, they should be able to interfere with ICE doing their job. And there's no problem. It's all gravy, baby. Nah. This is why you never let anchor babies become mayors. This is why you never let an anchor baby become a mayor. This is why you never let anchor babies become politicians, because they say because they're gonna say stupid things that don't make sense. Her loyalty is to Mexico, not to America. She got a problem with ICE doing their job.
Their officers did not deploy any chemicals and not detain or arrest anyone. They didn't tell us if they were given prior notice about these raids, but Tucson leaders have publicly said that they won't support any federal immigration-related action before. We asked Sheriff Daniels about that as well.
if an outside agency's coming in or a federal agency's coming in, whoever, I want to make sure my folks, my leadership's on the ground assisting in that everything's being taken care of the right way. Not saying they're doing bad things, but the right way. And that's collective. Listen, when state, local, and federal work together, collectively, have respect of sharing authority, at the end of the day, communities are better off. It's when they're disputed, divided, like what happened today up in Tucson, that's when communities suffer.
Tucson's vice mayor says Tucson police were told these arrests were for human trafficking. However, an ICE spokesperson says the 46 arrests made today were for immigration violations, much more in line with previous ICE raids. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Illegal immigrants, they steal your benefit. Illegal immigrants, they steal your benefit. They steal your benefit.
It's called the stock market 401ks.
That's President Trump last night in Pennsylvania, touting a strong.
Now we're gonna go back to that. Now this is check this out.
All right, so here to help us figure out who knew what when is Minnesota-based journalist who's been covering the fraud since, I believe,
Now we're going to talk about the Somalian fraud, and then we're going to go to this press conference where this anchor baby was complaining about ICE raids. Bless the like button. It ain't nothing. Yeah.
2018, if I have that correctly, Liz, but it's Liz Collin. And I know that she's also spoken to a lot of people who've been hard to reach. We've asked for a lot of people out of Minnesota. You managed to accomplish getting in contact with these prosecutors. Let's talk about exactly what's going on. Fry, Omar, Ellison. How deep does this go into politics?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, there is an overlap with plenty of Democrats in power in Minnesota with all of this. It was the spring of 2021 when the raids involved with the $250 million fraud scheme tied to Feeding Our Future was first exposed. Even before that, though, you're right. There was a suspected $100 million fraud tied to overbilling at dozens of Somali-owned daycare sites in Minnesota. That was making news back then. So the question of who knew what and when,
Yeah, them Somalians been committing all type of frauds, all type of scams. Those Somalians ain't playing no games when it comes to fraud, man.
Minnesota, that was making news back then. At dozens of Somali-owned daycare sites in Minnesota. That was making news back then. So the question of who knew what and when, you laid that out. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, she held several events at the restaurant named in the Feeding Our Future fraud, including hosting her.
Shout out to Salty Balls for the super chat. That's a funny name. That's a funny name, man. But I appreciate you for the support.
Congressional win in 2018 at that very Minnesota. That was making news. So the question of who knew what and when, you laid that out. Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, she held several events at the restaurant named in the Feeding Our Future fraud, including hosting her congressional win in 2018 at that very restaurant. So she knew one of the owners very well. Salim Saeed is his name, who has since been convicted. Minneapolis Mayor Jacob Fry's senior policy aide, Abdi Nur Salah, also entered a guilty plea. He was tied to the case. Campaign donations from some of the defendants in Feeding Our Future eventually returned, as you mentioned, to Jacob Fry, Attorney General Keith Ellison, Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. But you're right, I sat down with the lead prosecutor in the case, Assistant U.S. Attorney Joe Thompson, talked to him months ago, and I asked him, will we see any of these political leaders indicted? At the time, he said he could not comment on future indictments, but even back then, the feds made it very clear that it seemed that these cases were still wide open. Now we're hearing about multiple social programs in Minnesota, and these investigations seem to be wide open at this case, and I think this federal spotlight certainly is helping at this moment, Will.
Okay, let's explore really quickly together, Liz, the questions of could and did. What I mean by that is we have audio of Keith Ellison. And as you know, Keith Ellison having a conversation with many of the people involved in this program wherein he seems to be suggesting that he'll get into any type of investigators off their back. Like if there's any holdup in some of the money going to their programs that were fraudulent, he'll grease the wheels, he'll figure out how to keep it going. They were complaining that people were starting to step in and stop the flow of funds. And Ellison seemed to be saying, well, where?
Man, them Somalians been scamming the system for a long time, committing fraud, scamming. It's crazy. It's off the chain.
How? I'll figure it out. So the question is could and did. Could this have been to this scale without all of these politicians knowing about it? And did they know about it?
It seems at this point, Will, hard to believe that someone did not know about this. You have a state senator, Omar Fateh, celebrating the fact that the money kept flowing. You have a city council member in Minneapolis, also part of that celebration that was actually held. It's on video. There are recordings of that as well. And our reporting dates back years at this point, going over that celebration that took place. Unless none of these people, which I find it very hard to believe, are not talking to each other at all. And now you also have these whistleblowers that have come forward recently saying that they went to Governor Tim Walz 7 years ago when he first came into office, and they wanted to bring these red flags to his attention, and they say that they were met with silence. So we're seeing that now on Medicaid funding perhaps being cut if Walz doesn't take this more seriously, according to that letter that was sent from the federal government on.
Man, this is crazy. Tim Walz, man, you better do something. I don't want to hear no excuses. But then again, he's a Democrat, so will he be honest? No. Not saying that Republicans are honest, because all of them are politicians. Politicians are professional liars. We know this.
Friday, but we have multi-billions of dollars in fraud in Minnesota. And again, this has been ongoing.
Moderators, drop the Cash App in the chat so when the people tap in, they can easily support the show. Support the Cash App. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel.
For years. So just on a personal level, I've been a reporter for 20 plus years now. At this point, I find it really hard to believe that someone at the top.
And then they're pretending like they didn't know. Well, we just didn't know. That's how we know you're part of the problem. You're getting paid on the back end. What do guards in prisons do? When drugs come in prisons, the guards look the other way. Why? Right, because the guards are getting paid on the back end. The guards pretend like they don't see what's coming in because they're getting paid on the side. It's the same with these politicians. They pretend like they don't know what's going on because they're getting paid on the back end. Please believe, baby. So they're going to play dumb. They're going to pretend like they don't know what's going on.
Did not know something.
Well, I have no doubt, Liz, that you'll be the first to know if that prosecutor, Thompson, comes back and says you will see a Ellison or a Fry or an Omar in cuffs. You'll be the first to know. So we hope you'll come back here and let us know about that, Liz Collins.
Absolutely. Thanks, Will.
Hit the like button. You already knowing it ain't nothing. King Supreme, it is what it is.
Operation Catahoula Crunch is underway in Louisiana, but not without some pushback as protesters demonstrate against ICE's operations.
But DHS says they're
they going after the Mexicans in Louisiana. They going hard in the paint on the Mexicans and Hondurans and El Salvadorians in Louisiana, the whole New Orleans area, the state of Louisiana. Let's get into the content. You already know. Let's go.
Already made dozens of arrests since launching the operation last week.
Garrett Tenney joins us from New Orleans with the details. Garrett.
Hey, good morning, y'all. Both this operation and the protest against it really ramping up over the weekend. Border Patrol has been spending a lot of time in the city of Kenner, just outside of New Orleans. This area has the highest concentration of Hispanic residents in the state, and almost everywhere federal agents went over the weekend, crowds were following them, blowing whistles, honking horns, and yelling into megaphones to warn people that federal agents were in the area. As Commander Greg Bavino and his team went door to door looking for specific targets. At one point, some of the demonstrators even followed Bavino and his agents into a gas station to confront them as they were buying drinks. Despite those protests, Kenner's police chief tells Fox he's thrilled to have the feds and to be getting this kind of help in cleaning up his town.
Look, I'm an elected police chief. I work for 70,000 people. I know my marching orders. I know what they expect of us. We're very pleased with the operation. We've heard some of the results from yesterday and things that they've done, and I know our community is already stronger because of it.
Shout out to Salty Balls. He said the Mexican grocery stores all over South Central get EBT, and it's a cleanup operation because the amount for the losses with goods with shelf life, it'll come out one day. Shout out to you, man. Yeah, those Mexican grocery stores are everywhere, and guess what? I've been saying this for a long time. They use their EBT benefits to buy food. Listen, the Mexican vendors, not just in Los Angeles, across the country, this is what they do, especially when Joe Biden was giving these people all that money. This is what they were doing. They would use their food stamps to buy carne asada, chicken, and all that in the grocery stores, and they would sell it on the street corner, and, that's pretty much tax-free money. The vendors who sell Mexican food on the streets, they don't pay taxes. They buy the food with food stamps. They buy all their goods with food stamps. They ain't got to spend a dime to get their food because they use the stamps to get it. Then they sell it on the street corner for tax-free dollars. That's a scam. They've been getting away with that scam for decades. We already know the Mexicans use their food stamps, bro. And I'm not saying this because I'm just saying it. I'm saying it because it's true. Think about all that tax-free money they get. The government gives them food stamps. They buy the food in the grocery store, then sell it on the street corner. Tax-free money.
Kenner and most police departments in the state work with the feds when it comes to immigration enforcement, but that is not the case in New Orleans, where city leaders are under fire from activists for still not doing more to fight back against Operation Catahoula Crunch.
Now, that should be illegal to wave that Mexican flag. You want to stay in America and you wave a Mexican flag because you don't want your people to get deported? Man, they should have, bruh. It should be illegal to wave a foreign flag in America while demanding justice here in our country. Imagine you waving a foreign flag on American soil while demanding justice right here in America. But showing your showing your loyalty to your parents' country. Now, these are anchor babies waving these Mexican flags. These are not immigrants themselves, because the immigrants are not dumb enough to be out there waving these flags. The people you see waving these Mexican flags are the anchor babies, the children to these illegal immigrants. It proves everything that I said when I said their loyalty is to their parents' country. Why you think you see all these anchor babies waving these Mexican flags? That's a prime example of what I'm talking about.
So when it comes to immigration enforcement, but that is the case in New Orleans, where city leaders are under fire from activists for still not doing more to fight back against Operation Catahoula Crunch. Here's the city's mayor-elect.
There is this outside.
You wave a Mexican flag while demanding justice in America. Make it make sense. And then New Orleans ought to be ashamed of themselves. If you're trying to clean up Louisiana and get rid of the immigrants, why would you hire a Mexican lawyer? Excuse me. Why would you make a Mexican woman a mayor when all she's going to do is advocate for her people and fight to legalize border hopping? If you're trying to get rid of immigrants in New Orleans, why would you let a Mexican become the mayor of New Orleans? That makes no sense. We want to get rid of these illegal immigrants, but we're going to let a Mexican woman become a mayor in a city that's 60% black, 60% FBA. Think about that.
Effort occurring to try to divide us, to try to separate.
We need a Mexican mayor in a city that's 60% black, but at the same time, we're trying to get rid of illegals when all she's going to do is advocate for them, protect them. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Let's get a Mexican mayor in a 60% FBA city, even though we're trying to get rid of illegals. Yeah, that's a great idea.
The city's mayor-elect doing more to fight back against Operation Catahoula Crunch. Here's the city's mayor-elect.
There is this outside effort occurring to try to divide us, to try to separate us. And what I ask the people of New Orleans is that do not let this divide us. Let us come together instead.
This operation has the ambitious goal of 5,000 arrests. As you mentioned, so far, DHS says they've made dozens of arrests, including multiple criminal illegal aliens. Back to y'all.
Wow, thanks so much, Garrett. So, you know, it helps to have a Republican governor, but you don't have a Republican mayor, but she does seem reasonable. But the problem is the protests and the hounding of the ICE agents make it extremely tough to do the job.
Well, it's going to be happening more, because you probably saw the video yesterday of Zoran Mamdani, who's going to be the next mayor, who is not a Republican. He's a socialist here in New York. And he released this video on X offering advice to illegal immigrants on how.
Make sure that you guys bless the like button. And shout out to, what's your name, brother, for blessing the super chat. I want to give you props. I want to shout you out. Shout out to Larry Greggs for the super chat. He said, FBA built America, not illegals. I appreciate that. Appreciate the super chat, my brothers.
How to evade ICE. Listen.
All steps if you know your rights. ICE is legally allowed to lie to you, but you have the right to remain silent. If you're being detained, you may always ask free to go repeatedly until they answer you. You are legally allowed to film ICE as long as you do not interfere with an arrest. New Yorkers have a constitutional right to protest, and when I'm mayor, we will protect that right.
Double and tripling down on sanctuary cities.
Yeah, I guess my problem is not him offering advice to citizens. It's that you're not keeping your promise when you said that you want the criminals to leave. And that's what the message from Democrats.
He don't want criminals to leave. He's giving advice to illegal immigrants. He's teaching them how to be combative towards ICE agents. This is why certain cities and certain states have made it illegal to interfere with ICE doing their job while they're detaining illegal immigrants.
They got to shift their focus to cooperation with getting rid of the criminals out of the country. Okay, the other people that you feel like should have a pathway, maybe you can discuss that with the White House. But at the very least, there has to be a plan to say, okay, this person is raping people, they got to go. This person is a murderer. This person is wanted. This person has a DUI. We're going to turn those people over. I haven't heard any Democrat say, Mr. President, we're going to help you turn those people over and get them out of the country.
Brian, he went on to say that ICE can't enter your private spaces like your home, your school, or your private area like your workplace.
See, I believe Tennessee made it illegal for anybody to interfere with ICE doing their job while they're detaining these illegals, right? That should be the case in every state. If you got people marching and getting in your face, telling you what you can't do while you're trying to do your job, while ICE agents and Border Patrol are trying to do their job, those people should be thrown in jail immediately, ASAP.
Without a warrant signed by a judge. She said, if you're being detained, you can ask, am I free to go? You heard him say.
If you fall away from home, you're an alien. If you fall away from home, you're an alien. Running fast away from mass deportation. If you fall away from home, you're an alien. Shout out to Jay Morris for the super chat. I appreciate that. Running fast away from mass deportation. If you fall away from home, you're an alien.
That ICE can legally lie. He said you have the right to keep your door closed. Stand up and know your rights.
Right. For Mondami to do this, it's totally in your face to people that were worried that he was going to be working with Trump. I think that was to his community. But here's the nuance. The nuance is there's an election in Miami right now. Right. And for the first time in decades.
See, now I gotta tell you something. How did New Orleans end up with a Mexican mayor when New Orleans is 60% FBA? It's 60% FBA in New Orleans, but you give them a Mexican mayor, but you're trying to get rid of illegals. What do you think a Mexican mayor is going to do? She's going to protect illegals. So that tells you that something is going on. We're trying to get rid of illegals, but then you give New Orleans a Mexican mayor. She's going to protect these same people. She's going to protect the same people that you're trying to get rid of. It don't make sense. You know for a fact that she's going to protect those illegals. Why? Because those are her people. She's going to protect her people, man. New Orleans is 60% FBA. It makes no sense. Let's get rid of these illegals, but at the same time, we're going to bring in a Mexican mayor.
It looks like a Democrat who could win. And that is a very Hispanic community. And the whole redistricting in Texas was if the president continues to make gains with the Hispanic community. Some of them are misreading the aggressive tactics of ICE and taking it on the whole Hispanic community, and they feel as though they've been too broadly targeted. And that's why the president's numbers are coming down with Hispanics. That's why Tom Homan's got to get together with Kristi Noem and find out whose policy is going to work. Because they have an election, a midterm election. Things aren't going to go good for anybody's mission.
But then we have to take this into consideration. Most blacks in New Orleans vote Democrat, which is counterproductive, right? I don't know why blacks in New Orleans continue to vote Democrat. Well, they've been doing it for decades, so they're going to continue to do what they do, even if it's counterproductive. Now, I'm pretty sure that this mayor of New Orleans is a Democrat. I'm pretty sure she's a Democrat. Our people never learn, man. It's just like, man, what are we going to do? It's like, do we learn from our past mistakes? Do we ever learn from our past mistakes? That woman is a Democrat. Most black people in New Orleans vote Democrat. So they're to blame. They voted for this. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the people in New Orleans voted for this. That woman is a Democrat, and the majority of FBA in New Orleans vote Democrat. They vote blue no matter who, which is crazy.
On the Republicans coming down with Hispanics. That's why Tom Homan's got to get together with Kristi Noem and find out whose policy is going to work, because they have an election, a midterm election. Things aren't going to go good for anybody's mission on the Republican side if they lose the Hispanic vote or nullify, negate some of the gains that they've worked so hard to make. So they got to figure out a policy that goes for the criminals, the people that are abusing their visa, and leaves the people that belong here.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here.
He said Hispanics been going to Louisiana since the Hurricane Katrina. Building contractors took them there to work. Yeah, ever since the contractors took them there to work, that they've been flooding the zone, man. They just been flooding the zone for sure.
A federal immigration crackdown continues on the streets of New Orleans. Roughly 200 Border Patrol agents are making arrests. And the man.
But you think about this, Mike. It's our fault as FBA. That Helena woman, the mayor of New Orleans, she is a Democrat. And like I said, most blacks in Louisiana, well, not Louisiana, I would say, well, most blacks in general, period. But if we're speaking for New Orleans, the majority of blacks in New Orleans, they vote Democrat. If black folks in New Orleans would have voted for a Republican, you wouldn't have a Mexican mayor. Because what? That Mexican mayor is going to do everything in their power to protect those illegals. I repeat, that Mexican mayor of New Orleans, she's going to do everything in her power to protect her people. She's going to do everything in her power to protect those illegals. I promise you.
And leading the operation, Greg Bavino, says they will remain, quote, until the mission is accomplished. CBS News reporter Katie Weiss is live in New Orleans now. So, Katie, let's talk more about the federal presence and what it looks like there and how the community is actually reacting to it all.
Sure. Good evening, Juliet. Masked armed agents are still making their way around several primarily Hispanic neighborhoods that surround the city of New Orleans, and they're continuing to carry out these immigration enforcement crackdowns. Citizen journalist videos continue to be posted online.
Shout out to inside the square. He said King Judah. Shout out to King Judah. He said they're hiding. Yeah, of course they're gonna hide. They don't want to go back to Mexico. Oh, no, they don't want to go back to Mexico. My black people, I'm speaking to my black people. I know you've been voting Democrat for the last 50, 60 years, but stop doing that. When you vote Democrat, this is how you get Mexican mayors in a 60% FBA city. It makes no sense. Wake up, stop voting blue no matter who. Voting Democrat is how New Orleans got a Mexican mayor. That is foolish. New Orleans is a 60% FBA city. That is dumb. You voted against your best interest because you want to stay on a Democratic slave plantation and vote blue no matter who. They say, oh, you want to vote blue? We're going to give you a Mexican mayor in a 60% FBA city.
Of more of these operations underway. We've been asking more questions about the kinds of people that they're arresting. DHS sent me a statement yesterday showing that they've arrested at least 7 more undocumented immigrants that have criminal histories, including some who are convicted sex offenders. However, community members are demanding more answers about a full and complete total list of how many people have been detained during this operation dubbed Catahoula Crunch, and also what their names are and where they're going. Now, our Omar Villafranca actually spoke with one teenage boy who's a U.S. citizen who said that his mother...
Shout out to David Thomas for the super chat. I appreciate everybody for sending the super chat. Let's get some people to bless the cash. So where the cash apps at this morning? Make sure that you bless the cash app, $red1803. Yeah, we're going to give you a Mexican mayor in a 60% FBA city. But that's what happens when you vote blue, no matter who.
Was detained. She has no criminal background, and now the boy is left having to take care of his family in her absence. Take a listen.
After that phone call, they told me in 3 hours they were going to send her to Mississippi, and she was going to stay there a couple of days and then come back to be held in a detention center. It's not really thoughts at this point. It's more of like emotions. It's like really makes me really anxious, and it's like that hole in your stomach when you get delivered bad news. It's just a really bad gut feeling.
A lot of bad gut feelings for many people across the city as many families are being separated. I spoke with another family just last night who said that their family member was taken and they were actually there present as it was all unfolded in their driveway. And they asked the agents, why are you taking? Do you have a warrant? Where is he going? They said that the agents would not respond, and they just wish they had an opportunity or some kind of information to be able to contact their loved one while they're in detention. Juliet?
Katie, how are city leaders responding to the immigration crackdown?
Sleeping together.
Sure. Well, as a result of this kind of thing that we're seeing in the community, many city leaders really are calling for more transparency from Customs and Border Patrol agents. You know, it's quite unprecedented to see Customs and Border Patrol here carrying out these kinds of operations. You know, ICE typically does these operations, but for Border Patrol agents who are normally at the actual border, it's unusual to see them here. And so the city really wants to see these agents while they're in town to be unmasked.
Yeah, man. It's like our people don't listen, man. Like, why would you vote a Mexican woman in a 60% FBA city? That woman is going to do everything in her power to protect those Mexicans in New Orleans. She's going to do everything in her power to protect those Mexicans in New Orleans. Her loyalty is to Mexico, not to America. She'll cosplay as an American citizen. She's an anchor baby, but her loyalty is to Mexico. I promise you. This is what happens when you vote blue, no matter who. This is what happens when black people don't pay attention to Los Angeles, Chicago, and New York City. They don't pay attention and they vote. They're voting for their replacement. Like how foolish you got to be. At this point, you blacks in New Orleans, you are voting for your replacement. New Orleans is a 60% FBA city and you vote in a Mexican mayor? She's not going to do it. She's not going to do things in your best interest. She's going to do things for the interest. She's gonna be in full support of these illegals and Mexicans because she's a Mexican. She's not gonna do anything in favor of the residents or the black folks in New Orleans. She's not. But y'all voted for it. You voted for it.
They also want them to be.
All right, let's go to the next clip. Hit the like button, man, if you haven't already. The game is coming so heavy. Hit the like button. Yeah, this is just dumb, man. I swear, man, our people can be foolish.
A New Orleans man tells Fox 8 his family left the city due to the ongoing immigration.
Now, some of them are leaving. They say, okay, we got to get up out of New Orleans. They're applying heavy pressure. But yeah, man, our people can be very stupid at times. It's like they never learn from past mistakes. They just don't learn.
Sweeps.
Serena Wilson shows us the moment they said their goodbyes.
On the balcony of an apartment complex in the Carrollton area of New Orleans, a piece of luggage emerges on a balcony.
It's dangerous right now, it's here.
Fox 8 just happened to be in the area, and I decided to inquire if the people gathered on the balcony were leaving due to the ongoing immigration crackdown. I was told they were departing for Central America.
They're going to Nicaragua, and they're leaving because of the immigration raids? What'd you say? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes. Adults and children with backpacks came down the stairs and walked to a waiting SUV. There were tight embraces with those not leaving. I also spoke with a young boy who also spoke English, and he too they were leaving because of the.
Now, this Kenner area of New Orleans, right outside of New Orleans, got a large Mexican immigrant population. They're trying to take over that whole city. They want to make Kenner Mexico. They're turning Kenner into Mexico. That's what they've been doing.
Immigration sweeps. Fox 8 does not know the immigration status of those our cameras caught departing New Orleans. After the SUV filled with adults and children pulled out, a neighbor came out.
I don't like it at all because they never did anything. The good people, they're good people.
See, people like this is the reason that Kenner is going to look like Mexico. She's up there crying for the Mexican. Man, Mexicans don't care nothing about black people. I promise you. They always find some black person that's crying and caping for these illegals. If the police in Kenner started rounding up black folks, do you really think those Mexicans would care? Let's say they wanted to round up black people and harass them for whatever reason. Do you really think those Mexicans would care? Absolutely not. Look at this woman right here caping for these illegals. They good peoples. They don't bother nobody. They good peoples. This is just sad. They are turning Kenner, Louisiana into Mexico.
And children pulled out a name out.
I don't like it at all because they never did anything. The good people, they're good people, and only
They ain't never did anything to nobodies. They never harms nobodies. They's good peoples. I swear to God, they's good peoples, boss. Oh my God, this is.
they never did anything. The good people.
Neighbor came out.
I don't like it because they never did anything. The good people, the good people, and only been here like almost 9 years, and they've been here, and we had a bond.
I asked Senator Bill Cassidy about the immigration crackdown and how it's being carried out an hour before being in that neighborhood.
If somebody is a criminal, MS-13, Trinidad Agua, or somebody else committing crimes, everybody wants that person arrested, and we want them out of here. Out of here. And I think if the focus remains upon those who are a threat to our community, who've recently arrived in the kind of Biden open borders process, this will continue to fulfill the mission President Trump spoke about on the campaign trail.
Of course, we've heard concerns raised by local elected officials, trade groups, business owners, etc., about what the impact of the sweeps could be on the local economy as some people remain afraid to go to work.
I have heard that. That's why I go back to, if you're focusing upon criminals, that's where everybody wants to be.
Cassidy also weighed in on some Americans being detained around the country during immigration sweeps.
A few weeks ago, I spoke to Tom Homan, who's directing this, and he said that such episodes are rare and should be even rarer.
It's bad. I know they have to get a lot of people that's illegal, but they should evaluate, go through. I can't even talk no more.
Are you really depressed because illegal immigrants are being rounded up and sent back to their country? Are you really crying over these border hoppers? Somebody need to get their grandma, man. Please go and get your grandma and educate her about what's really going on. Look at Texas. It looks like Mexico because of this same problem. Illegal immigrants dumping anchor babies for birthright citizenship. Then next thing you know, your community becomes Mexico. Anchor babies come over here. Illegal immigrants come over here for the sole purpose of dumping anchor babies. Then next thing you know, within 3 years, next thing you know, your community becomes Mexico because of illegal immigrants dumping anchor babies for birthright citizenship. Next thing you know, that community becomes Mexico in 3 years. They'll overpopulate the community and they'll only give jobs to their people and they'll X you out. They won't. Once they become managers and supervisors at jobs, they only hire Mexicans, not foundational Black Americans. You are begging for your replacement. You are literally begging for your replacement. Somebody needs to come get their grandma and educate her, please.
Episodes are rare and should be even rarer.
It's bad. I know they have to get a lot of people that's illegal, but they should evaluate, go through. I can't even talk no more.
Supporters of the crackdown say the U.S. has a right to enforce its immigration laws. It's not known how long the immigration crackdown in this area will last.
I'm telling you guys how it happens. Illegal immigrants come and they dump anchor babies for birthright citizenship, and it continues to happen over and over. And next thing you know, in 5 years, your community becomes Mexico. Next thing you know. They overpopulate fast. Listen, it don't take them long to overpopulate because you got millions of illegals crossing the border for the sole purpose of dumping anchor babies in this country, dumping anchor babies for birthright citizenship. The next thing you know, your community becomes Mexico that fast, overnight. That's how it be happening. 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 I'm telling you, that's how it be happening.
A civil rights group says federal immigration agents detained a single mom in Kenner.
Gabby Hillard reports that leaves her 9-year-old daughter without a legal guardian.
An 18-year-old Kenner man is left to care 9-year-old sister after immigration and customs enforcement agents allegedly detained their mother Monday morning.
We want to make sure that they're safe. There is no legal guardian for them in the state.
Listen, man, they gatekeep these jobs at these construction sites and warehouse sites. All they're going to hire is Mexicans. They're going to boot FBA people out. They don't realize that they're voting for their replacement, caping for a bunch of people who can give a damn about you, caping for a bunch of people who don't even care about you. Kenner is going to become Mexico if you don't get rid of these illegals. And you got this black woman to be, these good people, they bothers nobody. They's good people's boss. This is just terrible. This is wrong what they doing to these illegals. Really? Your grandchildren won't even be able to, your grandchildren can't even get jobs at those constructions and warehouses. Why? Because when the Mexicans become managers and supervisors, all they hire is their own people. They're going to push you right out of they're going to push you right out of your community. Your people, your grandchildren will be unemployed. Guess why? Because the Mexicans are going to take all the jobs and only hire their people. Mexicans gatekeep these jobs and they only hire their own people. Vote blue no matter who. Next thing you know, your community becomes Mexico.
League of United Latin American Citizens tells Fox 8 ICE agents removed Jonathan Escalante's mom, 38-year-old Vilma Cruz, from her car, parked in the driveway of their Kenner home. LULAC says agents asked for identification, which she didn't immediately produce, and that ICE broke her window to detain her.
No consideration for the person that she is, the family that she has, the fact that she's a mom to U.S. born citizens.
Cruz's detention comes as federal agents move through the area as a part of the immigration crackdown operation Catahoula Crunch. The Department of Homeland Security has said it's aimed at bringing criminal migrants into federal custody. A search of Jefferson Parish criminal records revealed no arrest history for Cruz. LULAC CEO Juan Perano says Cruz is in the country on a work visa and has been here for 20 years.
The mom is the primary, earner in the home. She pays the rent. She pays the utilities. She pays for the food. She obviously takes care of her young daughter.
Immigration attorney Michael Gahagan says it's possible Cruz had a deportation order in a federal system against her, but without access to an alien number to search for Cruz's case on a government website, we can't verify that. Cruz also doesn't come up when you search her name on ICE's detainee locator, and without further information, there's no way to verify her immigration status.
They're looking for a very specific person, and they're willing to bust out her car window to drag her out of the car and arrest her. There's a chance she could have a prior removal order, whether she knew about it or not.
From here, Gahagan says, Escalante's 9-year-old sister, who is a U.S. citizen, could become a ward of the state.
The state would have to come in and...
Why not send the child back with the mother? That's an anchor baby. Stop giving citizenship to children of illegal immigrants. Stop giving children to illegal immigrant citizenship. If the mother's illegal, so is the child. Why would you give somebody citizenship when their mother broke the law to come here? She's undocumented. The child should not be a citizen if the mother's not a citizen of this country. Prime example. Let's say one of you ladies went to Mexico on a vacation. You and your man went to Mexico on a vacation. You was pregnant though. You was pregnant, but y'all still went on a vacation. And let's say you went into labor and had your baby in Mexico. That child is not a citizen of Mexico just because you had a baby in Mexico. It don't work like that. If you're not a citizen of Mexico, then your child is not a citizen of Mexico. It doesn't matter if you had a baby over there. The same rules should apply over here. If you're not a citizen of America, I don't care if you have a child in this country. Technically, that child is not a citizen because the mother is not a citizen.
And provide food and housing for the child and possibly put it in foster care or however they manage that through the system. But for ICE's purposes, it's irrelevant to them.
But Perano says LULAC is raising funds for Escalante and his sister, who live in their house with another family, in hopes of reuniting them with their mom. Well, the immigration attorney Gahagan says that if Vilma Cruz faces deportation, her minor child could choose to leave the country with her. John.
All right, thanks.
Let's say the minor child, they come back. They come back, man. That's the reality of it, homie. They come back.
Gabby, a local mechanic is now in.
What's the purpose of sending the child to make? Listen, when that child gets older, the child is still a citizen of America. They could easily come back. You gave this child citizenship because her illegal alien mother had her in this country. So let's say the daughter goes to Mexico with the mother. When the daughter becomes 16, 17, and want to come back to America, she can, because technically she is a citizen. When in reality, she should not be a citizen because her mother had her her mother was an illegal alien that had her in this country. So if the mother's not a citizen, then the children shouldn't be citizens. It is that simple. Even if that child goes back to Mexico with her mother, once she gets older, she can come back to America because she has citizenship. That is some of the dumbest crap I ever heard of. If the mother is illegal, if the mother comes to this country illegally undocumented and she has a baby on American soil, that child should not be a citizen because the mother is an illegal alien. Make it make sense.
In immigration custody after getting detained outside his workplace.
Andres Fuentes reports that detainment happened even though he had a permit.
Right now, the ICE detainee locator website confirms that Rosel Canjeas is in immigration custody right now, and it all happened after he was arrested by masked Border Patrol agents outside of his workplace at Val's Auto in Kenner this morning. His boss tells me that she was driving him to work when the agents followed her to the shop and demanded that he get out of the car. The arrest comes despite Rosel having a work permit that doesn't expire until 2029 in an ongoing immigration case.
I told the agents, everyone here is a hard worker and what you're doing is affecting the whole community and the economy of Louisiana.
The economy of Louisiana. You hear this? She don't even speak English. But this woman don't speak English, but she's demanding civil rights. It's affecting the economy of Louisiana. No, it's not. They brought you guys over here for cheap labor. It's time to go home. It is not affecting the economy of Louisiana. Go back home. She can't even speak English. You can't even speak English, and you got the nerve to demand civil rights that your people never fought for, civil rights that you never fought for. This is crazy.
Case.
I told the agents, everyone here is a hard worker and what you're doing is affecting the whole community and the economy of Louisiana.
Immigration attorneys that we spoke to say that even though someone might have a permit like Rosel, it's only designed to help somebody live in the United States while their immigration case plays out. It does not prevent a detainment from immigration agents. We have reached out to the Border Patrol for more details on today's arrest, but they have not responded. Previously, officials did say that due to the amount of arrests during Operation Catahoula Crunch, there will be delays in releasing information. Meg?
She can't even speak English. We got the nerve to demand civil rights.
And the attorney in the story, Lopez, said that agents detained some of his clients despite them having permission to work in the U.S. He says his clients have been detained with open immigration court cases. Those cases, he says, often come in two forms. The first, seeking asylum. Another considers special immigrant status.
Don't even listen. She can't even speak English, but got the nerve to demand civil rights. Civil rights that she ain't never fought for. Civil rights that her people ain't never fought for.
Has said that agents detained some of his clients despite them having permission to work in the U.S. He says his clients have been detained with open immigration court cases. Those cases, he says, often come in two forms. The first is seeking asylum. Another considers special immigrant status for juveniles. That's for those who entered the country illegally as children and who a state court has ruled were abandoned or neglected by one or more of their parents.
They're doing it the right way, and nonetheless, ICE is picking them up. The local law enforcement who's entering these 287G agreements are picking them up and sending them to detention and making it to where it's much more difficult for them to get that process that they've been fighting for.
Lopez says that both of these types of claims require individuals seek relief while being physically present in the United States. He says removing them from the country disqualifies them from seeking the relief in the future. Federal
Hold on, let's hear that
from
again.
the country disqualifies them from seeking the relief in the future. being physically present in the United States. He says removing them from the country disqualifies them from seeking the relief in the future.
So basically, if you don't self-deport and we catch you, you can never come back in the future. You don't get an opportunity to come back the right way if we catch you and remove you. If we gotta come looking for you, if we catch you, you should be banned from this country forever. You won't be allowed to come back the legal way. You won't be allowed back at all. That is the law. It should have been the law a long time ago. If we catch you.
And the Department of Homeland Security says arrested more than 400 suspected undocumented immigrants. This is in North Carolina. Homeland Security says it has arrested more than 400 suspected undocumented immigrants. This is in North Carolina. So DHS says Operation Charlotte's Web is still going, despite local officials announcing otherwise last month. And it comes as the Trump administration's immigration crackdown is shifting now to Louisiana and Minnesota. News Nation's Brooke Schaefer, she's been tracking federal law enforcement for us. So, Brooke, good morning to you. What's the very latest? We'll start in New Orleans.
Hey, Kelly, good morning. Border Patrol agents will be in New Orleans again today for what they are calling Operation Catahoula Crunch. Yesterday, agents were mostly spotted in Kenner. It's a suburb of the city where about 30% of the population is Hispanic. Our News Nation team in New Orleans got this exclusive video of some of the arrests and an incident where several men were spotted running.
Now, you see how they're already 30% of the population in Kenner. They ain't been there. Listen, they just got here yesterday, and they're already 30% of Kenner. So that proves everything that I'm saying is they overpopulate fast. They're already 30% of Kenner. In another 5 years, they'll be 70%. You better get rid of this problem right now. 30% already, and they just got over here yesterday. Man, that's crazy. Hit the like button. Show some love to the game, baby.
News Nation's Brooke Schaefer. She's been tracking federal law enforcement for us. So, Brooke, good morning to you. What's the very latest? We'll start in New Orleans.
Yes, if Kamala Harris would have won this election, America would be Mexico. America would look like south of the border. Oh, this country would be terrible if Kamala would have won this past election. She would have opened the border for all these illegals, and none of these illegals would be removed. They would multiply in larger numbers. Kenner would have, listen, Kenner is already 30% of the Latinos are 30% of the population in Kenner, and they just got here yesterday. Imagine if Kamala Harris would have won. Within 2 years, Kenner would be 70% Latino if Kamala Harris would have won this past election. More immigrants would have came over, and the ones who are already there, they would multiply in even larger numbers. America would be a disaster if Kamala would have won this past election. I promise you.
News Nation's Brooke Schaefer. She's been tracking federal law enforcement for us. So, Brooke, good morning to you. What's the very latest? We'll start in New Orleans.
Hey, Kelly, good morning. Border Patrol agents will be in New Orleans again today for what they are calling Operation Catahoula Crunch. Yesterday, agents were mostly spotted in Kenner. It's a suburb of the city where about 30% of the population is Hispanic. Our News Nation team in New Orleans got this exclusive video of some of the arrests and an incident where several men were spotted running away from officers and onto a roof, later allegedly throwing a bucket of nails at agents. We've not confirmed how many people have been arrested in the city so far, but initial reports said officials are targeting 5,000 arrests in this operation. DHS says it's looking for violent criminals. New Orleans incoming mayor, Democrat Helena Morena, says people are fearful and concerned about racial profiling. But Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry, a Republican and Trump ally, is welcoming the federal crackdown in his state. The governor said he also expects the National Guard in New Orleans before Christmas. Kelly?
Wow. So, Brooke, what do we know about this operation happening in Minnesota at the same time?
Local reports say ICE operations have started in Minneapolis and St. Paul as President Trump zeroes in on the Twin Cities' large Somali population. It's the largest in the nation. The administration has accused the Somali community there of financial fraud. And President Trump said this week he, quote, doesn't want them in our country. He doubled down on those comments yesterday.
They have destroyed Minnesota, that beautiful state. It's a hellhole right now. And the Somalians should be out of here. They've destroyed our country.
Democratic Representative Ilhan Omar, the first Somali American elected to Congress, described the president's comments as intimidation. President Trump recently ordered green cards for Somalis be looked at, and he's threatened to end the temporary protected status for Somalis in Minnesota.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our News Nation app right now on your phone, and you will
see, you know why the Somalians are not a threat like the Latinos and Mexicans are? Because Somalians got to hop on an airplane or a boat to get to America. All Mexicans got to do is cross the border, and then they'll multiply in large numbers. Somalians are mainly concentrated in Minnesota. Mexicans are everywhere because Mexico is right under America. We share a border with Mexico. That makes it easier for Mexicans to overpopulate cities across the country because of their proximity to America, their close proximity. I mean, damn, we share a border with Mexico. So that's why Mexicans, illegal immigration from Mexico is a bigger threat than illegal immigration from Somalia. Well, a lot of Somalians had TPS because they can't just hop a border, hop a wall and get over here, but the Mexicans can. Kenner, Louisiana is already 30% Latino, and they just got over here yesterday. That proves my point when I tell you it don't take them long to multiply. It don't take them long to overpopulate. Look at their proximity. We share a border with Mexico, so they come over here by the millions and dump tons of anchor babies. The next thing you know, your community becomes Mexico overnight. It becomes Mexico overnight. It'll come Mexico overnight. Yeah, it'll become Mexico overnight. It'll be a scary sight. How fast your damn community gonna become Mexico? Yeah. Shit, yeah, I ain't lying. You know? It'll become Mexico overnight. It don't take the Mexicans long to overpopulate, man. It just don't. The Mexicans overpopulate fast. Yeah. Huh? Make sure that you show some of that beautiful love when you slide on through. Hey, man. Hey. Hey. Hey, man. Let's go to the next clip, man. I've been telling y'all for the longest. People thought I've been, man, they're gonna lying, huh? I'm being honest with you. Giving you the hard-hitting facts. I ain't making none of this stuff up. Let's go to the next clip. I ain't lying.
Gus, nice to meet you.
Gus, Greg, nice to meet you, brother.
Thank you for making America great again.
Absolutely. Hey, Gus, you're a good man. Hey, I got something for you, Gus. Hold on.
And then the Mexican women, they dump tons of babies, bro. And then they call for their cousins, their other cousins, friends of the family. And they all come over here for the sole purpose of dumping anchor babies for birthright citizenship. Then next thing you know, your community becomes Mexico overnight. It'll happen overnight. That's right.
A second. Hold on, I got my personal coin here for you. I've got I think I do. There we go. I only got 20 left, brother.
Appreciate it. Thank you for all your hard work, guys.
Thank
you. Keep up great work and keep up the streets.
Always. Thank you.
Can I see that? Do you mind if I see the John Scranton scan? Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry.
I'm gonna show you them. I'm gonna show you how they're marching. Right, they're marching. Look, they protest. Check this out. The Mexicans down there marching.
Stop! Stop! Take Bovino back! Bovino out of here! But we don't want to hear!
What is your message to Greg Bovino in particular?
He's not.
Nicaragua. Look at all these Mexicans, man, out here marching. These are anchor babies. Their parents come straight from Mexico and Central America. Now they got the nerve to be in New Orleans protesting because they don't want to go home. Check it out.
You know, I don't care, but we don't want to hear.
What is your message to Greg Ravino in particular?
He's not welcome here. He needs to get out, okay? This country is made of immigrants, okay? We're all welcome here, and we're not
This country is made of immigrants. Man, shut up.
made of immigrants, okay? Here.
What is your message to Ravino in particular?
He's not welcome here. He needs to get out, okay? This country is made of immigrants, okay? We're all welcome here, and we're not going anywhere. We're staying, okay?
You see this crap? This is going on, and this is Louisiana, y'all. Louisiana. You would think this was California. No, this is Louisiana.
Immigrants are welcome here. Have no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. Have no fear.
No ice, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No ice, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No ice, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. He even sat up there and made a song about it. No fear. Immigrants are welcome here. Marching and protesting, fighting to legalize border hopping. Oh man, look at this, man. Oh man. I told you the Mexicans was gonna cause a whole lot of problems. Anytime you let the Mexicans come in large numbers, they're gonna cause a ton of problems. Yeah, look at this. These are anchor babies. None of these children should have citizenship because their parents came here illegally.
Esto que está pasando no es justo, es mentira que está queriendo llevarse a los criminales, tienen miedo a nosotros, se quieren deshacer de nosotros.
Afghan neighbors, do not fear. We are here for you. You're not alone. You deserve to have the same quality of life like everybody else. You are not alone. Stop treating our people like this. Be just it. We don't want you here.
Stop treating our people like this. Go home then. Why don't you fix Mexico? You can't tell, man, be quiet, man. Just go fix Mexico, man. That's all I'm saying. Make sure that you guys bless the like button. It's very important that everybody bless the like button because everybody needs to see this show. to show you what happens when you allow them to come in large numbers. This is what happens when you allow them to come in large numbers. They start problems. They start marching. They start protesting, fighting to legalize border hopping. That's what they're doing. They are fighting to legalize border hopping. They are fighting for the right to break the law. They're telling you that no ICE, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No ICE, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No, no, no. It is time to go.
Stop treating our people like this. Be just. Stop it. We don't want you here. Get out. Treat our people with respect. They are here to work. They are here to live. They are not criminals. Okay? They are not criminals. Get out. Get out. Thank you. No fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No fear. Immigrants are welcome. We want ICE out. We want ICE out. We want ICE out.
This is what happens when you allow illegals to dump anchor babies. This is what happens when you allow illegals to dump anchor babies. These are the problems they bring.
There's no humanity when they come around knocking houses and breaking in people's houses and dragging them out of their homes and vehicles. There's no humanity, and so that creates anger. It's not a just process. So we're angry, and we're here because of that.
Can you talk specifically about the tactic of the whistles?
The tactic of the whistles is basically when a neighbor see eyes coming. This creates awareness. They make sure that they stay home. They don't open doors, close windows. This is basically to create awareness that they're here, that ICE is in the neighborhood, to stay inside.
So we're protesting against, first of all, against the violence in our community, right? The other thing is that it's the way it's being done, right? It'd be different if they're going after criminals and people like they say, but we see that they're going around schools, they're going around other areas, they're going to communities, grabbing people from work and things like that, right? The other problem is that this is, I would say, I don't know the percentage exactly, but it's a majority Hispanic community, right? If you look around, all the businesses is majority Hispanic.
Yeah, because of illegal immigration. Because of illegal immigration. That is how it became majority Hispanic. Not because they came over here the right way. They came over here illegally for the sole purpose of dumping anchor babies for birthright citizenship. These people are very entitled. They're very entitled and delusional. They are listen, homie, they are fighting to legalize border hopping. That's exactly what they're doing.
Protesting against, first of all, so we're protesting against, first of all, against the violence in our community, right? The other thing is that it's the way it's being done, right? It'd be different if they're going after criminals and people like they say, but we see that they're going around schools, they're going around other areas, they're going to communities, grabbing people from work and things like that, right? The other problem is that this is, I would say, I don't know the percentage exactly, but it's a majority Hispanic community, right? If you look around, all the businesses is majority Hispanic, and the thing is that it affects not only our local economy, but it affects our culture down here, right? This is not only is New Orleans, but is Kenner, Metairie, all of that is a big melting pot of Hispanics, of everybody mixed, right? Hispanics, Asian, whites, black, everything. And the way he's doing it now, it's coming down. People are scared to go to work. I work in construction, and we're starting to see the effects on our construction businesses. We're starting to see people not go to jobs. We're seeing people that during the holidays are deciding to not being able to go to work, whether getting caught or buying Christmas presents, right? We're already suffering enough with the economy. Now you're telling people if you go to work, you may get arrested, you may get deported, and it's not just going after illegals, right? We're seeing that they're grabbing the way they treat citizens, the way that they're grabbing people who have permits.
They don't know the difference. We got to detain you to find out if you are a citizen. But see, these are anchor babies. I bet money his parents were not citizens. You can say, oh, that's stereotyping. No, I got to be honest. People stereotype black folks all the time. I bet money his parents were illegal. He's an anchor baby. I bet money he's an anchor baby. Just to make a long story short, I bet money he's an anchor baby.
Right? The fear is real for all of the community.
Yeah.
Come on, we want ice out!
Listen, sir, listen. How you doing, man? Lieutenant Brody. Look, y'all are excellent. Y'all protest. But y'all can't block traffic. Well, they were. I just passed by. I understand. Just let everybody know this.
He said, man, you can't block traffic. Listen, you shouldn't be able to protest. If the law says we can deport illegals, why would you allow these Mexicans to block traffic and protest? You're not fighting for justice. You're fighting for the right to break the law. This is a dumb protest. This has nothing to do with your civil rights being violated. This has nothing to do with any of that. You're marching and protesting because you don't want ICE to do their job. So this protest is stupid. They are fighting for the right to break the law. They're telling you that they have the right to stop you from doing your job, even though the law says we can deport illegal immigrants, but they're going to march and protest about it.
That's all we asking.
Okay, we're going to stay out the road.
Okay. We don't want nobody to get hit by vehicles. Okay. I mean, look, it's a safety. Y'all protest. Excellent. That's awesome.
He's a good guy. He's been with them.
Baby,
He's a good
thank
guy.
you so much.
And now we've been. This is what we got. Can I use a microphone that I have?
Yeah. Look, tell them we
They need to stay off the street.
That's all I'm asking.
So we don't get into traffic. All right. Está diciendo el policía. Atención.
Just get out of the street. That's it.
Hold there.
That's it. That's all. That's it.
Okay.
What's up?
We just don't want nobody to hit by car.
Okay,
that's
all right,
it.
that's fine. Make everybody move over to the sidewalk.
That's it. Sidewalk's perfect.
All right, hey, todos on sidewalk. On la
Yeah, even though there's a small percentage of Somalians, they've stole billions of dollars. So get rid of them too. Get rid of them too. Get rid of all of them. Get rid of all these undocumented people. If you're undocumented, it is time to get rid of you. I have no sympathy. We want you out of our country.
State troopers are helping ICE. The state troopers are helping ICE. Don't be fooled. The state troopers are helping ICE. We don't want ICE in our city.
Small leader, get out of the swamp. Small leader, out of the swamp. Small leader, out of the swamp. Get out of the swamp.
Thank you.
Movido, enano, fuera del pantano. 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 Movido, enano, fuera del pantano.
They're gonna down there and check.
Okay, who's on the front? ¿Quién va a confirmar? Yeah, ¿quién va a confirmar?
They say they're right down the street on the outside of the intersection. But we're gonna.
They're waving foreign flags while demanding justice in America. They're waving Nicaraguan flags, Mexican flags, El Salvadorian flags while demanding justice here in our country. This is crazy. I want justice in America, but let me wave this foreign flag in your face. A country that I don't want to go back to.
Yeah, somebody's gonna go check. They're gonna go check. All right. Let me see right here.
Trying to get ahead of it.
Wait. Everyone, we're gonna go peacefully. Not in the street. But we will march. Keep our distance. Be smart, okay? Damos espacio. No en la calle. En la calle no, okay?
Let me wave a flag of a country that I don't want to go to. I'm going to do everything in my power to not go to Mexico, but I'm going to wave this Mexican flag in America while demanding justice. I mean, that makes perfect sense. Oh, that makes perfect sense.
Que podamos seguir usando nuestra voz, lo hacemos legal.
Those black people out there better be tethers, man. I've seen a few black folks out there. They better be tethers, man. They better not be no foundational black Americans.
¡Fuera Bobino! ¡Fuera Bobino! ¡Fuera Bobino! ¡Fuera Bobino! ¡Fuera Bobino!
Oh my God, be quiet, man. These people are annoying.
¡Fuera Bobino!
Look at these Mexican flags. If you told her she had to go to Mexico, she'll have a nervous breakdown. She would have a nervous breakdown if you told her she had to go back to Mexico waving that flag, but got the nerve to wave this Mexican flag while demanding justice in America. That makes perfect sense.
¡Fuera Bobino! ¡Fuera Bobino! ¡Fuera Bobino! ¡Fuera Bobino! ¡Fuera Bobino!
"82 truck drivers have been detained."
Man, this is crazy. So you guys see what's going on, man. It's like you see what's going on, man. Burrito, whatever I don't know what he was saying. It sounded like he was saying, bring me a burrito. Burrito. Hey, if you speak Spanish, please correct me. It sounded like he was asking for a burrito. That would it sound like to me. Burrito. What? Speak English. Oh, man. Make sure that you guys bless that like button, man. I've been telling y'all about this for a minute, bro. I've been telling y'all. Burrito. Let's go to the next clip. Sound like he was saying, bring me a burrito. That would it sound like. I ain't I'm not even being funny, but that's what it sounded like he was saying. Bring me a burrito. That's how Mexicans act when they get their numbers up. Once they get their numbers up, they listen, they get very disrespectful when they overpopulate and they get a lot of numbers. They get a lot of numbers. You know, they get very disrespectful once they get their numbers up. I'm telling you. I'm from Cali, so I know what I'm talking about. Now this is Kenner, Louisiana. Kenner, Louisiana has a 30% Latino population, and they just got over here yesterday. I told you they overpopulate fast. 30% already. Kenner is a suburb of New Orleans. Make sure that you guys bless the like button. And oh yeah, let's get some people to bless that cash. Or where my people at? Show some of that beautiful love to the cash. Or where my people at, man? Bless that cash app, Jack, for this beautiful work. Burrito, 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 burrito. Sound like he was saying, bring the burrito, underlay, bring the burrito. I don't know what he was saying, but it sounded like he was talking about bring that burrito. Burrito, 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 bring on burrito. The Mexicans out there marching and protesting. March left step, nigga, march left step, left, right, left. Get on up. Forward march, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Get on up. Forward march. Bring the rito, bring on the rito. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. Mogul Mays, shout out to Mogul Mays for the cash app. He said for just in LA, they're about 50% of the population. I would say that they're 70% of the population. When you think about the documented ones and the illegals in LA, man, they close to 70% in LA. Hey man, them ICE agents said, man, we got to get out on foot, man. The Mexicans out there, hey man, they hiding out, man. Them illegals out there hiding. They like, nah, man, we ain't going down. You got to find us, Jack. We ain't going out without a fight. You gonna have to find us. Now, my partner King Judah lives in Louisiana. He does construction. He said they're hiding out. He said they are hiding out and you can't see them. This is news to share, man. Fair use. This is from News to Share.
What pump is that? 9? Hey, y'all, how y'all doing?
Can't play that anymore.
You want one? No.
Mine's just share out in the bottom.
Yeah, what's it called? Thank you. Thank you. See you later.
Now let's go right here. Now, burrito, 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 burrito. Bring out burrito. Bring out burrito.
You guys need to stay back right now, please. Give us space, stay back.
You guys just stay back.
No further. Stay back, guys.
How you doing today?
Hey, they knocking on doors. They ain't playing. The ICE agents in Kenner said, hold on, Kenner is 30% Latino. Oh, man, we got to knock on doors. This is a major problem. They're turning this place into Mexico, south of the border. Yeah. Look how fast Kenner became 30% Latino, and they just got over here yesterday.
Do you know this gentleman? Do you know he's on?
No, we don't know.
Okay. Have you ever seen him?
No.
Thank you very much. Nice to see you.
Sorry. Good. If you don't even warrant, they can go in your house. The FBI is
Oh, this one here? Okay. Do you need to get a picture of that?
If they don't have a warrant, they're not allowed to go. I like to drink a lot. When I leave my kids like 3 days, I'll be missing them because I'm a single mom. Y'all did it wrong. In December, y'all know how people come together. And the kids, I'm telling you, I do a lot of notary stuff. Babies are being left behind. That shit breaks my heart. That's the only reason I'm doing it.
Nobody told them to come over here illegally. What they're saying is we got children, so since we got children, we should be allowed to break the law. We should be allowed to break the law because we got children. Never mind the law, we have children. Let us get away with breaking the law. We got children. You have no right to enforce the law. Listen, homie, Kenner, Louisiana became 30% Latino in no time. That's how fast they multiply in numbers.
Aquí está migración. No salgan de sus casas. Aquí está migración.
Look at all them Mexicans out there, man.
Eso estábamos hablando nosotros al principio, que si la comunidad se une, si la comunidad se vuelve un solo.
You take your mask off? Yeah, he giggling. He giggling. Little piggy start giggling. Yeah. Crazy. Right? They know that shit. That's why they're coming. Talking more about other than poor people that don't give a fuck about being here, bro.
Shut up.
They've been trying to get legalized in y'all system. It's so dog shit. Y'all just kick them out.
These are good people.
And y'all say make America
Go after.
They're good people. Next thing you know, you got MS-13 and Serrano gangs. They ain't talking about the drug cartels from Mexico that bring all that dope and the people who smuggle it over. They ain't gonna talk about that. They ain't gonna tell you about the Serrano gangs that comes with this Latino population. They ain't gonna tell you about the MS-13. No, they ain't gonna tell you about none of that. What they're gonna tell you is we're hard workers. We deserve to be in the country. We're good people. But they never tell you about the bad people. Let them tell it. Everybody is just hard workers. But next thing you know, you got Serrano gangs and MS-13 overnight. It comes with the Latino population. They bring drug cartels, Serrano gangs, and MS-13, but they never talk about that. They leave that part out every time.
Make America great again. Y'all wanted to be white again.
Go after the criminals.
Where that little community has
Not our people. They can't make it white again.
Fuck out of here. More pictures here. Perro basura. Perro.
Look at Bavino. He like, man, please.
Go here, motherfucker.
Look at all those Mexicans, man. Kenner, Louisiana is a suburb of New Orleans. Kenner is 30% Latino, and they barely got over here yesterday. That shows you how fast they overpopulate. It shows you how fast they multiply in numbers. They're going to turn Kenner into Mexico if you don't get rid of this problem, if you don't do something about this issue. Huh? Look at all these Mexicans out there. See, she's out there on the bullhorn telling Mexicans to stay in their house, warning them to stay in their house because ICE is patrolling the community. Now, that should be illegal. That right there should be illegal because you're stopping me from doing my job. She's on a bullhorn out there warning the immigrants that ICE is in town. Lay low. Lay low, hide out, do what you got to do. ICE is in the community. She's on a bullhorn shouting this.
Ellos vienen de nuevo para atrás. Solo vinieron a ver el área, pero migración regresa de nuevo. No salgan de sus casas, manténganse dentro.
Available 24/7. We work for you.
Okay.
And we appreciate what you're doing here. If you need anything, let us know.
Thank you so much.
Nice to meet you, Laura.
You as well.
And it was Mrs.
Miss Lee.
Miss Lee. Laura and Miss Lee. I appreciate that.
Thank
2
you.
L's. Mark that down, guys. That's Miss Lee with 2 L's.
Yeah, that woman is on a bullhorn out there warning immigrants, making it to where ICE and Border Patrol can't even do their job because you out there giving these illegals a heads up. This is why you don't give anchor baby citizenship. This is what they do. This is one of many reasons why you don't give anchor baby citizenship. This is what they do. They're fighting for the right to break the law. They are fighting to legalize border hopping. That is what anchor babies do. This is why you never give them citizenship in the first place. They create problems. Their loyalty is to Mexico. Their loyalty is to their parents' country, not America. This is a prime example. Shout out to Sleepy Montana for blessing us with a cash app.
We won't forget that.
All right, you have a great day.
Y'all too. Thank y'all.
Look at Pedro out there. Pedro out there blowing a whistle. Pedro need to put them refried beans down, man. Pedro, you looking kind of big. Oh, come on, Pedro. Sitting up there blowing that whistle. Look at Pedro. You need to put the burritos down, my friend. Put down the burritos and the coronas, my friend. You're too big, man. Ergotro. Pedro, ergorto. Too big, man. Ergorto, Pedro.
Same one. Yep, 35, 41.
Exactly, Scoop. Anchor babies will fight for their people. It doesn't matter if they're wrong. This is what happens when you give anchor babies citizenship. They fight to legalize border hopping. They fight for the right to break the law. That is what anchor babies do. And you can hear the lady on the bullhorn. So now the Mexicans know, hey, it's time to hide out. She's on the bullhorn. She's telling them, hey, ICE is in the area. Border Patrol is in the area. Hide out. They're coming to get you. You know, this one Mexican lady compared this to the slave catchers. Now we know what Black Americans went through. Border Patrol is like slave catchers. They come up and they kidnap our people. Now we understand how they did blacks. No, blacks wasn't here illegally. We didn't come here illegally. We didn't fight for the right to break the law. We fought for equal opportunities and justice in this country. But foundational Black Americans have never marched with the means of fighting for the right to break the law. We've never done that. This is one of the dumbest protests in American history. Yeah, we're going to fight for we're going to march and protest because we want the right to break the law. We're going to fight the legalized border hopping. That's what we're going to march about. That's what we're going to protest for. Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Gonna go that way. We'll walk.
Down here.
Was that? Where the Border Patrol acting?
I've lost 2 tenants so far.
Oh, damn.
Okay? I'm getting ready to go to my apartment to go clean out stuff that 4 people left behind. I was working people.
Get out! We don't
Look at Bravino. Look at Bravino. He's like, man, please stop.
We don't want you over here. Get out! Get out! Get out! We don't Get out! Bye! Bye, son! Bye!
Hey, Bavino, like, man, you can't stop me from doing my job. You can march and protest all you want. You ain't gonna stop nothing. See, we've been telling you guys a long time ago in California, man, when you vote Democrat, they're going to bring in a gang of illegals. Unfortunately, blacks in Louisiana vote blue no matter who. New Orleans is a 60% FBA city, but yet they gave y'all a Mexican mayor. And what is this Mexican mayor going to do? She's going to fight to protect the illegals in Louisiana. She's going to fight to protect the illegals mainly in New Orleans because she's the mayor of the city. Mark my words, that Mexican mayor in New Orleans is going to fight to protect all the illegals in New Orleans. That's exactly what she's going to do once she gets in office next month. Because guess what? She's in office next month. Next month in January, that's when it begins. That's when her job starts. She's going to do everything in her power to protect them illegal Mexicans in New Orleans. I promise you. And New Orleans is a 60% FBA city with a Mexican mayor. Make it make sense. We're trying to get rid of the illegals, but let's hire a Mexican mayor. That makes perfect sense.
Okay.
Shout out to Royalty for the Cash App. Sleepy Montana and Royalty bless the Cash App. Mogul Mays bless the Cash App as well.
Estamos en Newport Place. Acá atrás por Vestige, no salgan. Migración está presente, no salgan.
I mean, really think about what I said. Like, how does that make sense? You're trying to get rid of the illegals in New Orleans, but you hire a Mexican mayor, and New Orleans is a 60% FBA city. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. But see, we got to blame the black population in New Orleans because they voted Democrat. That woman, that Mexican mayor is a Democrat, and black people in New Orleans voted for that. So at some point, we got to look at our people. Are you guys stuck on, I don't even, man, just, you lack brain cells. Shout out to my people. I love my people, but something is wrong with FBA in New Orleans. You're 60% of the city, but you vote in a Mexican mayor because you continue to vote Democrat. How foolish is that? So all my people in the South, stop voting Democrat. These are the people that's flooding your communities with illegals. Pretty soon, black folks in New Orleans, you're not going to be able to get a construction job. You're not going to get a warehouse job because the illegals will take over. And once the illegals become managers and supervisors, they're going to gatekeep those positions and only hire their own people. I've been warning you.
I show you my face to take picture of my face. Show me your face too.
I asked the same thing.
How you take picture for my face? You wanna don't give me your face.
Look at this anchor baby talking about take picture. Show me your face. Show me your face. Man, shut up, fool. You sound dumb. Don't nobody owe you nothing. Go somewhere and sit down. Go somewhere and take 10 seats.
Show me your face like you see my face.
You guys had to be faster.
It took you so long. Hey, they all came. Why did they come in to interview you guys? You guys are...
Look at the brother that's running the cash register. He like, hey man, how many illegals come here every day? Be honest with me, hey man, this store is full of illegals. All you got to do is wait outside. You will catch them. Sit across the street from this Circle K. I believe it's a Circle K. Sit across the street from this Circle K. You're gonna catch all these illegals coming in here every single day.
Popular. You guys must be good looking. Hey, they all came. Why did they come in to interview you guys? You guys are popular. You guys must be good looking. Movie stars here. Guys, we're gonna do our I believe.
I know that ain't Mexican music, man. I'm damn sure gotta cut that out.
What's the wrong one, guys? I got the wrong one there now. Hey, you want a ghost?
I'm all right.
You sure? Now, why doesn't the media drink energy drinks? That's what I want to know.
Sometimes do, but it makes my
Look at Bovino.
Look at me too. It gives us energy.
How has this been different than Chicago and Charlotte?
Much less violent. We've got state locals and the governor on our side. We love them. They're doing a great job.
State police made.
Hold on. He said, what about Chicago? Make sure that you guys bless.
Hey, you want a ghost?
I'm all right.
You sure? Now, why doesn't the media drink energy drinks? That's what I want to know.
Sometimes do, but it makes my heart generate.
Look at me too. It gives us energy.
How has this been different than Chicago and Charlotte?
Much less violent. We've got state locals and the governor on our side. We love them. They're doing a great job.
State police made a big difference in the operations. She attacked you.
Hey, we support you. We work for you, the taxpayer. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I pay taxes. You know how much taxes I pay a year? You know how much taxes I pay a year?
Look at all these anchor babies in here arguing. This is why you never give anchor babies citizenship. They cause problems. They're fighting for the right to break the law. They are fighting to legalize border hopping. It's an unrighteous cause. It is a silly cause. We're going to march just like black people. No, black people had a righteous reason to march. Foundational Black Americans was not marching to legalize border hopping. We wasn't marching. We didn't fight for the right to break the law. We fought for equality, justice, and equal opportunity. That's why we marched. We didn't fight because we wanted the right to break the law like these Mexicans are doing. So don't compare what they're doing to what we did as foundational Black Americans. That is disrespectful.
You know how much taxes I pay a year? And I pay college for my kids. You know how much taxes I pay a year?
Commander Bovino,
I pay a lot of taxes
I'm on,
a year. Okay?
Am I allowed to buy you stuff?
Buy me one too. I'm tired.
Can't be unethical. I can't.
It's actually so
I'll buy you one.
No.
Yeah, buy us one. We're done. We tired too. After you. And we're not going to keep on stopping. We're going to keep on following you. So go ahead.
Hey, thank you. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Keep up the amazing work.
We will. We're not stopping.
How you feeling? How's morale amongst the guys?
Fantastic. Doesn't get better than this. That Title 8 mission is so important for the country, and it's game on, guys.
Oh yeah.
We got this.
Keep killing it.
We got this. We got this. We got this. We got this, y'all.
Come on. Come on.
And they got the nerve to be out there with their cameras whistling. And that one lady on the bullhorn, my thing is this, man. Black people, I'm so disappointed in foundational Black Americans. Stop voting Democrat. What's wrong with y'all? We told y'all what happened in California. You see what's happening in Chicago. You see what's going on in New York City, and you still vote Democrat? Something is wrong with you. Do you lack brain cells? Do you really like you gotta lack brain cells at this point to continue to vote Democrat? New Orleans is a 60% FBA city, and you vote a Mexican mayor in, but at the same time, you're trying to get rid of the illegals. What do you think this Mexican mayor of New Orleans is going to do? She's going to do everything in her power to protect those illegals. And you got FBA in New Orleans who are dumb enough to vote her in because they vote blue no matter who, which is insane.
¿A dónde van ahora?
You fill all those tanks of gas because we're not going to stop. Fill your cars of gas because we're not going to stop. Fill your tank. Fill your tank. We're not going to stop.
Clarence Williams said they're slow. I had to agree with you. They're slow. I got to give my people some pushback. They are slow. These people are slow. At this point, I got to call a spade a spade. You people are slow. And I'm speaking to my FBA people in New Orleans. You voted a Mexican mayor in a 60% FBA city. I know for a fact that she's going to do everything in her power to protect them illegals in New Orleans. And our people were dumb enough to vote this woman in. That's crazy. Pure insanity.
I got 3 in my car. Somebody needs gas. I got 3. Fill your car because we're not going to stop. Fill your tank. Fill your tank. We're not going to stop. I got 3 in my car. Somebody needs gas. I got 3 tanks.
Pero los andamos del culo, no los...
Now, listen, to all my Black brothers, man, if you were a Mexican woman, see, this is how I know a lot of you guys are going to be compromised. If you a Black man with a Mexican woman, you got to pretend like you ain't got a problem with illegal immigration. They already don't like you because you Black. So when you get around these Mexicans, you got to pretend like you ain't got a problem with open borders. Just think about if you would if your girlfriend is Mexican, or if you a Black woman and you were a Latino man, you got to pretend like open borders is not a problem. Because if you spoke your truth, I don't say your truth because that's what liberals say. If you spoke the truth, not your truth, the truth. If you spoke the truth, they're gonna get offended. They're gonna say, "Oh my God, no, no, no." So when you guys get around these Mexicans, let's say you got a child with this Mexican person and you go to one of their family functions, you got to pretend like you ain't got a problem with open borders. You're going to assist them in their fight to legalize border. You're going to assist them in their fight to legalize border hopping. You're not going to stand on FBA business around all those Mexicans. You're going to agree with their nonsense to get along with them. You're going to pretend like open borders is not a problem. You're going to pretend like there's no problem in the world with open borders. I've seen a lot of Black people who date Mexicans. When they get around these Mexicans and they get around their family members, they got to pretend like they're cool with open borders for the sake of getting along with those people. They're not going to stand on FBA business.
We all pay taxes. And Google taxes. And all the kids' school.
Guys, back up, please. Back up, thank you. Back up,
y'all back up, y'all
back up, guys. Come on, move. Sidewalk, thank you.
See, listen, I'm not finna get around no Mexicans and pretend like open borders is a great thing. A lot of you black people who date these Latinos, you get around these Latinos and you compromise your morality. You compromise your stance on things. You pretend like it's not a problem because you want these people to like you. You want to get along with them. So you pretend like open borders is a good thing. No ICE, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. So when you see these black people who date Mexicans, they be out there protesting with them. Them few black people that you seen out there, they date Mexicans. So they get out there and they march with them and they start singing along with them. No ICE, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. You are compromised at that point. You're going to help these Mexicans in their fight to legalize border hopping as a foundational black American. What a damn shame. That is crazy.
We all pay taxes.
And Google taxes, which I know all this.
And all the kids too.
Guys, back up, please. Back up, thank you. Back up,
Y'all back up, back up, y'all
back up, guys. Come on, move. Sidewalk, thank you.
What's he afraid of? Yeah, he's afraid because he's doing it wrong.
Yeah, they're not. Listen, I know why this fool Anton Daniel. Oh, okay. This is why Daniels popped up because I just talked about him last night. Listen, black people who get with these Latinos, they are compromised. They got to pretend like they ain't got a problem with open borders and illegal immigration. You know, they compromise their morals to get along with those Mexicans and Latinos. That's exactly what they do. I'm just keeping it a stack with you. You know what I'm saying? I'm just keeping it a stack with you, baby. That's what happens when a foundational black American gets with a Mexican. They pretend like it's not a problem because they know if they spoke their mind about how the borders need to be closed and they need to deport these illegals, that's going to ruin their relationship with their Mexican woman or their Mexican husband. Feel me? So they go along. They're compromised because they want to get along with the Mexicans. That's what happens. Huh? He said the FBA that are in Mexican gangs are no different. Compromise. Yeah. If you're a black person in a Mexican gang, you're compromised for sure. You're not even black no more. You know, you can't even claim to be black if you're a black person in a Mexican gang. You're out there fighting for the raza. He ain't going to say anything that's disagreeable towards the raza. Nah, he ain't going to do that. Viva la raza. You got to compromise to get along with them. And I've seen a lot of FBA people do that, which is a major problem. Listen, you guys, man, we've been here long enough. I'm going to shut this show down. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. We had a dope show, man. I appreciate everybody who showed up to support. Everybody, man, everybody that blessed the like button. And oh yeah, hype the video. When this live stream uploads to YouTube, make sure that you hype the video for sure. Hype the video for sure. You know. No ICE, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No ICE, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. No ICE, no fear. Immigrants are welcome here. Oh, man. Hey, Blue, shout out to you, my brother. Might as well hand that black card over. Yeah, might as well hand it on over. Ethio Pine, yes, I don't know what your name is, man. It's kind of crazy. I don't want to read all that. He said, I went to a Mexican homie's house to watch the Pacquiao versus Cotto. I had to root for Cotto to keep the peace, but inside I was rooting for Pacquiao. Hell yeah, man. Them Mexicans is gonna get on your helmet if you was voting against that Mexican fighter. Yeah. It's more Mexicans in black gangs. Yeah, it is. It's way more Mexicans in black gangs because the Mexican youth want to be black. They want to be hip hop. So you got a lot of Mexicans joining black gangs. That is a fact. Hit the like button. It is what it is. Yeah, man. I appreciate everybody for pulling up, though, man. We're going to get up out of here. I'll be back. Maybe like around 1 p.m. No, I'll say like 2. I'll be back like around 2 p.m. 2:30, something like that. And I'll be back with a second show of the day, man. Peace to everybody. I appreciate everybody for pulling up. Much love to everybody for supporting this stream, for supporting this show. You already know. Make sure that you guys subscribe to the channel if you are not subscribed already. Peace. Yeah, Cotto is Puerto Rican, though. I will have to say Cotto is Puerto Rican. He's not Mexican. So, yes, you're right about that.